talking now, huh? Who's gonna...
Hey folks, welcome to the SmackDown Podcast. We are your host, Kyle, and the returning guest, Sebastian. What's going on, Sebastian?
Not much, man. So I taught some wrestling.
Yeah, that's me too, dude. So happy I contacted you earlier, because I really, unfortunately, Benji normally hosts the NXT 205 Live episode every week with myself, and he just randomly, not randomly, he had some other agendas that just came up, and he had to cancel last second. So I'm glad I was talking to you earlier in the day. I swear this was not planned.
Man, I told you last night. Anytime.
Anytime. Hey, I appreciate your willingness to work. I'm all about some free labor, right? Anyways, you guys, this is the SmackDown Podcast. If you're new here, we cover, we do recaps and reviews for WWE's main shows, Raw, SmackDown, also 205 Live and NXT. We do the pay-per-views, we'll do takeovers, and then on other occasions, we might cover other big shows, like New Japan and AEW, which, by the way, did you hear the news that AEW's got a release date for their television show?
Absolutely. It's big. I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah, man, me too. I think they said like October 2nd.
October 2nd.
Yeah, man. Oh boy, can't wait to watch more wrestling on top of the 7 hours I'm already watching.
Now we just gotta choose AEW or NXT, which we're watching first. You know?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I might have to run them simulcast. But yeah, today we're here to cover 205 Live and NXT. On top of the odd shows too, I think you and I were discussing on our other episode on SmackDown. I think we're going to cover a classic show. See if there's interest out there that want to hear our take on some of the most legendary pay-per-views. I'm going to have to get Rob Roode in on this too, because he is a huge Attitude Era fan. So I'm going to talk to him and see if he's interested and if his schedule will permit him to record. But looks like, folks, Sunday, which means we'll be recording, which means the show will go up either Sunday night or Monday morning. But as it looks right now, Sebastian and I will be covering, I think at what WWF Armageddon 2000. Is that the year?
Yes,
the one where they had the 6-man Hell in the Cell match?
Yes.
Yeah. One of the best Hell in the Cell matches of all time. But we'll be covering that. But that's later, man. Today, like I said, we're covering 205 Live and NXT. Before we jump into that, we got to let you guys know where you can find us. If you're listening to us on Podbean or Spotify, thank you. Thank you for all our listeners, but do us a favor on the show, man. If you could, hop over to our YouTube page, search for the show in the search bar, and like and subscribe to our show. You can even, if you want the bell icon off, hey, I'm not going to be insulted. Right now, we're just trying to get to that 100 subscribers so we can get that custom URL. That is like the next badge that I want, is a custom URL in YouTube, and the way that we need to do that is to get more subscribers. Did you subscribe last night? I'll put you on the spot. You didn't?
I did.
Oh, you did? Hey, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, that custom URL is really big to us. If you have any criticism or you want to hang out with us, you can find us all on Twitter. You can talk to the show at SmackDrawPod. Personally, myself, you can find me at the Kai Tai Show, and then I think you're at WrestlingFan_32, right, Sebastian?
Yeah, highly creative stuff. But
Yeah, it's not the most creative name, but
it's simple.
It's not about the cover, man. You gotta it's the content. You know what I mean? So, hey now. And then lastly,
It's simple, easy to remember.
what's that?
It's simple and easy to remember.
There you exactly. I look. I just learned it yesterday, and I've already got it memorized.
See?
Yeah, there you go. And lastly, we are doing a giveaway. Very simple, no real strict rules here, man. I've got here a pack of wrestling cards. I'm ready to mail out to the first person, pretty much the first person to go on Twitter. Type something on Twitter to the extent of listen to at SmackDrawPod. Make sure you at the show. Tell people to subscribe to our show. Name Rob's favorite wrestler, which, spoiler alerts, HBK. Just like I said, at the end of the day, just make sure whatever you're posting on Twitter, you're adding the show so we can go ahead and recognize that you're taking part in this. And we'll send you the cards. You got a chance. It's the 2019 Road to WrestleMania pack. You got a chance to win an autographed card for the 40th Anniversary Intercontinental Championship. Might be in there, man. I'm going to kick myself if it is, too. If I mailed that out and you got it, man, I'm going to be so mad at myself. But that's it, man. Got the plug. Told you what we're about. That's pretty much it, man. Let's dive into the show. We'll start off with 205 Live. It's fresh in our memory because we just got done watching this, right? You watched this today along with myself, right?
Yes. We were recorded last night for SmackDown. I wasn't able to watch it, so
Yeah.
for NXT.
That's how it works. The show kicked off. Backstage, Drake Maverick announced that he's having a match next week with Mike Kanellis. I thought they were having a match this week, but apparently it's next week. It will also, because of the personal animosity that's been going on between these two, it's not going to be a wrestling match. It's going to be a fight. It will be an unsanctioned match. And if Mike Kanellis gets the victory, he will get a title shot at the Cruiserweight Championship. Have you been following along with this whole story? I know you said you missed last week's 205 Live, but apparently this has been going on for a minute.
Yeah, I really like the story.
Yeah. Whose side you on? Because there's no clear good guy, bad guy in this. These guys are both kind of got their hands dirty in this story, you know?
Right now, I'm probably Team Drake.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's not lie. He's a national treasure with a 24/7
with that 24/7 championship.
Yeah.
Oh
so
my
I'm
gosh.
all Drake.
I love the stuff he was putting out. That truth. That he had the banner out there. That my baby's missing. And it's like a flyer, and it's referring to the belt, and then it's like also my wife, like just in like a little corner tucked away. Oh my god, yeah, it's so good, man. That belt, look what it's done. Look what it's done for Truth and Maverick, and even some other people too have gotten some shine here and there, but. Like, Truth and Maverick sitting around meandering, not doing much with themselves, and now they are two of the biggest names every week in the weekly programming. They're two of the most entertaining guys, man. It's the little stuff, man, that can elevate you, man. It's awesome. It's really good. It's really good.
It's entertaining, and it's over-delivered. If back when they announced it, the expectations were pretty low, but they've done an amazing job with that title.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So, but this right out the gate in the show has me hooked and ready for next week. Oh, I forgot to change the picture over. Look at that. We're still looking at the thumbnail. There we go. This is 205 Live right here. This is what we're talking about. What? Awesome. This is a great segue into the next part of the show. We had a match between Lucha House Party, the members Kalisto and Grand Metal League. Oh my god, why is his name slipping me? Lince Dorado sitting this one out. He's on the sidelines. Taking on Humberto Carrillo and NXT's Raul Mendoza. Now, how familiar are you with Mendoza? He's the only one out of the group here that I don't really know much about, and that's because I've just started watching the NXT product.
I'm not overly familiar with him, but I've seen him a few times. I like his work. And I think him and Creo as a tag team could have big time potential.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think Mendoza actually stole the show in this match. Um,
I agree.
yeah, absolutely. I like the to be honest, man. All four participants stole the show in my books, but Mendoza was the big standout for me. Carrillo was really good too. They're building up Carrillo. They've been having vignettes of him in backstage interviews or pre-tape segments, trying to flesh out his character, and he really just seems like a young, good-looking stud that's ready to make a splash in this game. And he looked good here, but he kept he did. I like that they didn't overbook him. Like he looked like he was getting hit with a lot of like shots he could have avoided, and I liked that. Even though he did pick up the victory at the end of the match, but this match was high impact, fast paced. It started out with I think Kalisto and Mendoza canceling out each other's offense, which looked really cool. At one point they both went for like a double arm drag, and they both kind of just like it's hard to say like the way it looked, but it looked really cool watching them cancel out that move in particular. But the match ended when Carrillo countered Grand Metalik's moonsault. He got the boots up, hit Metalik, dragged him to the other corner, and then hit a twisted corkscrew splash, which my memory serves me correct. Was it just like a Twisted Bliss, like Alexa Bliss's finisher? Or did he add a little bit more to it?
He adds a little more to it.
I think there may have been like an extra rotation in there, but
Yeah, he adds a little more to it.
it threw me off for a moment there when I saw it. But the match was
He did.
no. Go ahead.
He did. He didn't land it. Like it usually looks better than the one he did tonight. I'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good. This match really like it really shined on everybody. Like I told Benji over the last couple episodes that Lucha House Party have just gone over like a wet fart with me. When they were displayed on the main roster because they didn't do nothing with them. They just seemed like a gimmick act. And then now that I've gotten to see him on 205 Live over the last month or so, especially on last night's match, man, these guys can really go in the ring. Got great chemistry. And then you got the two new guys, although Mendoza, from what I gather, has been around for a while. Shine a spotlight on them. It made like 4 stars. Like that match right there really just I felt like generated like 4 stars for me, and it was awesome.
But the commentary really helped too.
Oh man, I can't even
like I
recall
said, last
commentary. I was so invested in the match, I didn't even hear him.
Well, they played up the whole experience, you know, Carrillo and Mendoza being the younger and all that, and that's fine because that's what you're supposed to do. But they also brought up, you know, Lucha House Party's wins, not just on 205, but the wins they got on the flagship show on Raw, and it made it seem bigger for the young guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It made it a bigger moment for them.
No, and it did. It did. I'm happy that Carrillo didn't look like like I said, I was going back to it. I'm happy that Carrillo didn't look like over dominant in this because I like the idea of like a young guy not having it all right away and have like that little inexperience in there. Like I said, he was getting countered a lot. And even though he won, he didn't seem over dominant to me. So that adds to the character. That at some point he can take a loss and you can chalk it up to inexperience, and it allows time for growth. Whereas if you just book him strong out the gate, there's not really any growth, you know. So I was really satisfied with all this, and I'm intrigued to see Mendoza and Carrillo like 100 times more than I was last week. We followed that segment up. So this is kind of playing off the last 2 weeks. The Singh brothers are backstage. They're just laying out a challenge to face Brian Kendrick and Tozawa to a match next week. Just a straight up tag match. Because these guys, all 4 of them, have been kind of circling each other for a while now. But not much more to that. Then we got a video package. Are you familiar with this Isaiah Swerve Scott fella? Fella.
Uh, first time I seen him a little bit before, the breakout tournament, but not a lot. No,
Yeah, the breakout tournament was my first time being exposed to him.
I might have seen him once or twice, but no, I'm not over.
Benji says this guy is like the future of NXT. He swears by it. This is like one of those reasons why I wish he was on the show, man, because Benji has a wealth of knowledge, I think, on this guy. But apparently Isaiah Scott, he's a big deal, and we need to pay attention. And given the main event that we got, because the video package was setting up for the main event, he is coming from NXT to 205 Live to take on the current cruiserweight champion Drew Gulak. And like I said, that main event that we got was plenty proof that he needs to be on our radar, because boy, oh boy, was it good. Oni Lorcan came out next versus Tony Eisner, and boy, I feel for you, Tony. I liked how they started off with like the boxing stance, and then Tony nailed him with like a jab that looked like it legitimately buckled Lorcan's knees for a second there, man. But Lorcan, all that did was wake him up, man. Lorcan hit one of the nastiest flying uppercuts in the game. It instantly made me want to see him have a match with Cesaro, just so you could see the dueling uppercuts, man. Yeah.
Talk about a strong.
Talk about a strong style match. That would be, man, that would be some good stuff. But yeah, this Tony Eisner guy, I assume he's a local talent or he's some guy in development, because he was already in the ring when Lorcan made his entrance. And this match was over before it began. It was over in about 90 seconds. Lorcan hits a, I guess his finisher is like a half and half suplex. It's like a half Nelson, like German suplex. It looks pretty cool. I like it, man. Then from there, we're going straight into the main event, man. Gulak, beforehand, we get either a backstage promo or something that was pre-taped, but he does give a little bit of backstory to this match, which was nice, considering this match looked like it was thrown out of nowhere. But apparently Gulak trained Isaiah Swerve Scott. Apparently he trained him back before their WWE days. So now this match has that like student and teacher dynamic to really look at, and it just adds to the story, man. They know what they're doing, man, on 205 Live.
I'm a real sucker for those kind of matches too. The trainer trainee.
Yeah,
I'm a sucker for that. As soon as he said that, I was like, oh well, my eyes are locked. I mean,
yeah, man, and boy, man, these guys. This main, oh my god, this main event was so good. I was like only half in it at first, because I think I was taking notes and I was trying to eat dinner, and but man, by the end, my eyes were glued to the screen, especially after Gulak hit the crucifix bomb or the razor's edge on Isaiah Scott on the ring post on the outside.
On the ring post.
Oh my god, dude, it was so mean. Oh my god, it was so mean. And I liked they were creative.
They have good spots, yes. And that's a thing I did notice about Swerve. This day and age, man, it's hard to find unique moves for someone that you don't see many other people do.
Right.
But like that moonsault he did using the ropes when Gulak
like a cartwheel moonsault. Yeah, man.
Yeah, when Gulak slid the ring. That's one. I mean, I don't remember seeing that. I might be wrong.
No, I don't recall seeing it either, man.
And that
they were even creative, like with how Isaiah Scott injured himself. Because normally when they try to sell like a self-inflicted injury, it's a guy lands wrong and tweaks his ankle or his knee. You know what I mean? And then the submission guy works it down. This one, they had Isaiah Scott just land a naked punch on Gulak's head, man. And it was punching the dome piece that injured his hand. Which, if you watch like MMA or UFC, that's a legit thing that happens. Guys throw a punch and they break their hand. The skull is typically harder than your knuckles. So even I was like, dang, this match is creative. Like, like well thought out and full of little spots here and there. We just things that we didn't see. Um, and I mean, this match was hot. Don't get it wrong. I think this was the first time I watched 205 live where I heard the crowd chanting 205. Like they were chanting the show's name with pride, man. And 205 live has gotten a bad rap over time, and like this stigma, it's kind of like the ugly stepchild of all of WWE's wrestling programs, and to see it really shining, man, is awesome. Um,
And how sad is that? Because as far as pure wrestling, it's up there. I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely.
especially when's the last 205 main event that didn't?
That hasn't delivered. I think you have to probably go back before Triple H got it, because I was watching it because I loved the Cruiserweight Classic, but then when they initially launched the show and they had like Enzo Amore on it, and just they weren't doing anything with the show. They treated it like WWE light. You had cruiserweights that had different styles than the main roster, but you didn't let them use it, and the stories were hokey. So I gave up on the show until Benji told me to start watching it and to record.
Enzo was the
oh boy,
kiss of death.
I'm telling you, man. The show almost went under, man. I think they were gonna cancel it or something. But
well, it's rumored that it's still a possibility, and I really hope not.
yeah, no, me too, man. Because these guys need a platform. Trying to blend them in with Raw and SmackDown and NXT's already bloated rosters. They need their own platform. They really do, and they need more than one 205 live match on the pay-per-views as well. Like they need to include them on both the takeovers and the main roster pay-per-views. They need to have one, two matches. You know what I mean? Like here and there. Especially if you got a pay-per-view that runs like 5 to 7 hours, you can get 205 live matches on there.
I like a 205 special.
Yeah, no, I would too, man. I would too. In WWE, I mean, they might, man, because word has it they're going to create a lot more live specials or network specials to counter program AEW, and that would be one of them, and that would be one of the benefits of the wrestling war that's about to take place, man. Is 205 Live gets a bigger spotlight, man.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Smackville this Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah. That was thrown together on like 8 days' notice.
2 matches announced.
I'll have to watch it. I don't think we're gonna cover it, but I'm gonna watch it. At one point, Scott hits a tilt-a-whirl slam, goes straight into an armbar. I loved that, man. I'm a huge sucker for submissions, especially when they come out of nowhere. But he can't crank it due to that injured hand. So Gulak ends up winning afterwards with, I think they call this finisher the Cyclone Crash. It's kind of like a torture rack that he throws out into a neck breaker. Looks good, man. Looks good, especially when Gulak.
Yeah, you mentioned the armbar. Gulak's transition into the Gulak was pretty good too.
Oh yeah, I don't think I know, but yeah, absolutely. I like that Gulak's got a finishing move because he's a submission specialist, and I always say like submission specialists still need a finisher. You can't have them only do submissions. Like you still need a move to put them away with, So I did like that Cyclone Crash, man. And then the match was so emphatic and intense. You're left inclined that these guys are going to shake hands. The student has earned the teacher's respect. Nah, man. Gulak stood over him, taunting him with that title. And, man, Gulak looked like $1 million. And he looked like a joke a year ago. And he looked like $1 million now, man. I love it, dude. Absolutely love it.
He's quietly one of the top guys. Well, I don't want to say draw or anything like that because we all know 12-5 hasn't had much like that. But as far as just his character, he's up there in the top of the company, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's crazy because, like I said, you take a look at his character like a year ago and he's doing... I mean, the PowerPoint presentation I thought was funny, but I didn't like the whole picketing like no high flyers and no chanting like that. That was like, dude, this is gimmick death, man. But
It wasn't a gimmick that you looked at the guy and said, in a year from now, he's going to be
he's gonna be
carrying
top guy.
this brand. Yes, carrying the brand.
You know, it's funny though, because when all that was going on, the podcast that I normally would listen to, those guys, they were actually calling Gulak out. They were like, you know, they didn't say like, oh, for sure this guy's gonna be top dude, but they were like always saying like he's got something there, and they want to see him with the belt. And it's weird looking back now that they predicted that, because most, like, probably 9 out of 10 people would be like, no, he's never getting a run with that title. When you look at him like picketing and stuff, but the people I listen to, man, apparently they're well experienced. They saw that junk coming.
It's a good call.
Yeah, man, it was a really good call. I'll call them out. They're big time, so they don't listen to us. But it's Steven Larson going in Raw. They were calling it. Yeah. They predicted that junk. They got, like, I don't know, man. They're huge, man. They're awesome though. They're pretty fun to listen to. Well, anyways, but that was 205 Live, man, and now I'm excited for next week. Can't wait to see that Unsanctioned match, and with Maverick and Kanellis. And then, you know, you got the Singh brothers. Singh brothers are way more fun now than they used to be. And they were the Bollywood boys. So, it's...
That main event is a perfect example of how both guys coming out looking great, even though it's somebody. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. I hope they give them like 20 minutes. I hope they give them 20 minutes. I hope they tear the house down, dude. Because I think this is Drake Maverick's debut match. I don't think he's had a match since he came over.
No, he's not had a match, but it's not a 24/7.
Yeah, that don't count. That doesn't count now. All right, so, but let's bring that in, man. Like I said, that's 205 Live. We'll go over to NXT here. Oh man, this is a little bit of a spoiler if you're watching on YouTube, but we got Mr. Pete Dunne out here made an appearance, and he rocked Full Sail. That's for sure. I was at that point. I was like, man, I need to find like a thumbnail, or I need to find a good image for the podcast. And the second I heard Pete Dunne's music, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be it. But we'll get to that, because that came later in the show. We started the show off with the second round of the breakout tournament between Miles. I can't remember his. Do you got Miles' full name? I forget it already. Oh Jesus, Benji would be so pissed at me. I already know.
Sure.
It's Miles versus Angel Garza.
Jordan Miles.
Jordan Miles. I think so. I think we'll just call him Miles to be safe. You know, I know Miles is it. Man, Miles looking cocky as hell, looking good, looking athletic. And dude, how about that spot though, when Garza pulled the ring apron out from under his feet?
He landed hard.
That was vicious. Oh my God, man! Miles was trying to climb out the ring, and Garza, who's fed up with getting his ass whooped, saw that Miles was standing on the ring apron, and he just yanked that junk out from under his feet, and it ripped him down.
I'm a commentary guy. Beth Phoenix did a really good job calling.
Yeah. Oh man, absolutely. Garza ended up being vicious after that point, man. Threw Miles into the steps. I think he threw him into like the ring apron as well. Beat him down on the outside. Went back in. Almost got the count out victory. And then seemingly out of nowhere, Miles hits a deadlift bridging German suplex and gets the pin. Like, and it felt like out of nowhere, man. Like, did I miss something before that?
Not really. It was a good match, but that finish, I didn't like the finish.
No.
It was just out of nowhere.
What was wrong?
Well, one's just a move. I'm not a fan. Which you can do it every once in a while, but we just seen that last week pretty much in Gable and Jack Gallagher, right?
Yeah, but that is Gable's finishing move. Where he's...
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. Like, and I know DDT, Alexa Bliss. You know, people have those moves like the DDT and the German, like.
Yeah.
But I just don't like somebody having that as finisher, and then you see 10 more matches and everybody's kicking out at 1 or 2. You know what I mean?
No. Very, very good point. Yeah, because that is not Miles' finisher. I think Miles' finisher is like a 450. I want to say, because I think that's how he won the first match in the tournament. But yeah, it just shocked me. To be fair,
And like you said, it was abrupt too, and I just felt so.
I mean,
So
I'm a fan of the out of nowhere victories that are not roll ups. I can't stand the roll up ones, roll up victories, when they're rushed. Me personally, I'd like to see a hot match where these guys are about to hit the apex of the match and then get the roll up there, because then you're frothing at the mouth for a rematch. I can't stand the match where a dude comes out, gets his ass beat for 45 seconds, and then rolls up the opponent, because that to me is garbage. So I like the roll ups when the match is getting good, getting meaty, because then it's just like you just want to see part 2. But a roll up in the beginning of the match, you don't, huh?
And like you said, Garza was so aggressive.
Yeah.
And he was going like 100, and then all of a sudden that stopped him. Like, that was my problem.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't hate it. I didn't look too deep into it. It was just kind of like, for me, it was like an easy to digest match. And to my point,
It was a good match.
Yeah, and to my point, guys might have a rematch or a feud down the road. Who knows? Maybe Garza, pissed off at how to out of nowhere was, interferes with Miles' next match and costs him the victory or something. You know what I mean? But I mean, I could see your point. Absolutely, I could definitely see your point.
And Garza too. I might be misremembering the third strand, but I saw some potential of just being a good heel for him tonight.
Yeah.
That aggressiveness, and you know how he is. The women scream for him, and the men hate that. You know what I mean?
That's true.
He can have some good heel heat, especially for NXT with call-ups and stuff. He could be a decent piece for NXT.
Yeah. No, I'm excited, man. The breakout tournament has been my favorite thing on NXT so far. It really has been. Just seeing all these new guys. But someone who's not happy about seeing these new guys is this Mr. Shane Thorne. I'm going to ask you, because I was going to ask Benji, but who's Shane Thorne?
Shane Thorne, he was part of what was the old tag team?
Is it like TM something?
Yes, TM.
Because he mentioned the spot where he jumped off like a scaffolding or something, and I want to say it's like TM60, but I can't remember.
61.
TM61. Okay,
TM61.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't really know much about this guy.
I've seen him since.
Yeah, but he came over after the match. You were looking at the celebration in the ring, and then you hear Mauro Ranello's audio getting muffled, and we cut back to the commentary booth, and Shane Thorne has taken Mauro Ranello's headset and pretty much expressed his displeasure for all the hype around the new guys when he supposedly has been here killing it for 3+ years, and that he pretty much just deserves a bigger spotlight, and that was that. You know what I mean? So Shane Thorne's going to be, I guess, making an impact soon. Hopefully he's making an impact. I'm all for guys, getting theirs, especially if you've been around for a while. But I really don't know much about him beyond that. But we cut over to a pre-tape segment with Johnny Gargano backstage, talking about his upcoming match at TakeOver in Toronto, which it was revealed last week, or I don't recall it being revealed on NXT, but it was revealed that his match against Adam Cole essentially is a 3 stages of hell match, which is a 2 out of 3 falls with 3 different stipulations. But Regal said that Gargano and Cole can pick 1 stipulation apiece, and if it goes to a third, Regal will pick the 3rd stipulation. I imagine on the fly. I don't think we'll get an announcement before the match. But Gargano reveals his stipulation will be a street fight, which is badass because Gargano does awesome damn street fights.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Just like you just.
Yeah, man.
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah. So let me ask you. This is a stupid question. But how do you feel about street fight, hardcore match, whatever you name it, a no DQ match, having like 6 different names, but they're all the damn same match? you got
It's done.
hardcore, but that's been pretty much retired. I haven't heard of a hardcore match in years. But you got street fight. I think street fight, the only requirement is you wear jeans. You know, like that's the rule. If you have a street fight, you gotta wear jeans. But then you got no DQ. You have unsanctioned.
Well, so we can't even have the jeans in this one unless Gargano wrestles in all 3 stages.
No, man, they just take their jeans off. They just take the jeans off after the match. Yeah, they stop the match for like 2 minutes and they take their jeans off. If Adam Cole's laid out, whoever lost is laid out, the ref has to assist that wrestler in taking their jeans off.
Vince McMahon would write that.
That's so stupid. Anyways, we'll just move on.
So technically, there's no difference this time, unless like you just said, they make a scene out of the jeans.
Yeah, exactly. So the street fight's over, so he just starts stripping, man. Take the jeans off. They got the wrestling tights on under it. That's awesome.
Now we'll cut the commercial and call a timeout, and they can just go back here and change like it's the main roster.
Yeah, there you go, man. There you go. They run back, they shower, everything.
No wrestling during commercials.
Yeah,
So.
Exactly. Yeah, all you gotta do is just get a commercial break in there. Which, you know what the commercial can do? Is just advertise the show. You just cut away from TakeOver and just run a commercial hyping TakeOver.
And the commentary team don't even acknowledge that they're in different clothes.
Like it never happened. Yeah. Oh my god.
It's what man being Michael Cole's headset, don't you say a damn word.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's get back to the show. Oh man, what's this girl's name? I forget. Is it Zai Lee? I can't remember. Zai Lee. Thank you. I typed her name out correctly, but then I was like, oh crud, this is hard to pronounce if you don't remember it. Zai Lee taking on Bianca Belair. This was pretty much like a squash match. Would you call it one?
Yeah, actually, in my notes, my first line there, Bianca beats Zai in what you could call a squash.
Yeah. It pretty much was just like Lee never got out the gate. I think Bianca.
Like 98% to 2.
Yeah, I think Bianca hit her with like a spear into the corner like instantly, and just swarmed her. Was all over her. Lee, I think, was countering stuff here and there, but it was more evading offense instead of implementing her own. But no, I mean Bianca just had her. I think that match was over within like 2 or 3 minutes. Bianca wore her out. For me though, I haven't seen much of Bianca Belair, and this, in my limited exposure to this woman, was probably the best showing I've seen her. Like I was impressed.
Well, you made me too, because I was going to ask you what your opinion of Bianca was. So.
Yeah, well, the last time I saw her, really saw her shine was at because beforehand, when I wasn't watching the weekly programming, I'd still watch the takeovers, and I think she was in a multi-woman match for the women's championship at one point.
Was saying Shirai and Baszler,
Yeah. So that, I think, was the only real time I saw her. But other than that, I had no impression of her. But I mean, she seems strong. She seems confident. Her character definitely seems like her character stands out, like shines amongst a lot of people. She does kind of look like she's in her own, on her own level. Like I don't know how to explain it.
I think she's a total package.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Uh,
Between her athleticism, strength, charisma, I mean, you name it, she has it.
Apparently, Benji, my co-host, went to high
Yeah.
school with her. Not attended the same high
Really?
school, but went to high school. I think, I believe he even said they're the same graduating class. Everything, that they were both in the same high school at the same time. But he said he didn't have any personal experiences like with her, just that they were in the same spot at the same time. I told him, I was like, nah, man, you need to ride that out. Like, y'all hung out in study hall, you passed notes. I was like, you need to talk it up, bro. But no,
That's
but
pretty wild. And she just finished college, too. I don't know if you knew that. She graduated from University of Tennessee.
that's good, man. Yeah, that's
So,
really good.
so she's hard working, not just in the ring. I mean, she.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. No, I'm stoked to see her more now, for sure. Um, After that, we we got another pre-taped Killian Dane promo where he recaps his beatdown of Matt Riddle last week. My favorite part of this whole thing was when I realized that when he beat down Matt Riddle, he was wearing a Tool shirt, and I'm a huge Tool fan. Like, and I was like, damn, he's wearing my favorite band, man. He's got him on. So I was completely distracted by the fact that he was wearing a band T-shirt of like my favorite band, which which sucked because this year, actually back in May, I had the chance to see Tool live for the first time in my life. I'm here in North Carolina, and they started this new music festival this year, which is called It's not really it's a plain name, but the Epic Center Festival. It essentially is the spiritual successor to what was known as the Carolina Rebellion, where that music festival ran for 8 years. Well, that festival ended last year. They shut it down, and then Epic Center Festival started up this year. It's 3 days of metal music, and it's badass. But Tool was set to headline the second day. So, of course, my ass got tickets the second they went on sale. And the second day got completely rained out. Like, it rained out. All the bands had to cancel after, like, anybody playing after, like, 5 p.m. pretty much had to cancel due to severe weather. And I was pissed. Because I've been wanting to see Tool for, like, 15 damn years, man. And I'm at the concert, bro. I'm there. And some pissant on a golf cart driving by, just like, oh, the shows are canceled. Get in your tents and ride out the weather. We'll fire up tomorrow. I was like, oh, this sucks, dude. I went home. I just drove home.
You have my shitty luck.
Huh?
You have my shitty luck. Bad. You have my shitty luck.
Thank you. But
Because I had the worst luck, so that would totally.
really, what happened?
No, I said that would totally happen to me. Like, just my luck.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm afraid to buy tickets to stuff because I feel like my car would break down on the way there.
Well, I mean, the music festival is only about an hour and a half from the house, so I was like, guys, I'm just gonna go home. But yeah, it was a bummer, man. But I'll tell you another bummer that happened was Jessa McDuke. Boy, she got. You heard the intro. That was from that clip. Apparently, Jessica McDuke was jumped by Mia Yim at I believe the WWE what's their training facility called?
PC Performance Center.
Performance Center, yeah. Apparently she got jumped there, and Mia dropped the meme, the surprise motherfucker on her too. It was so funny.
Beat the shit out of her.
Dude, she beat the piss out of that girl, man. She's gonna tear down the 4 horsewomen. Like, Ronda Rousey needs to be thankful she's on vacation, man. Because
she's going to her house.
dude. So you got Jessa McDuke and who's the other one? Oh god, why is it slipping me?
Marie Shafir.
Yeah. So probably next week she's gonna get jumped, too, and Mia Yim is just gonna tear apart because she knows how it works, man. If Shayna Baszler is in a tough spot, she's got the horsewomen to to bail her out. So she's taking him out ahead of time. McDuke's arm was slammed in the locker. So she's probably going to have an injured shoulder, which is going to render her useless. So we'll see if Maria Shafir, if she is injured as well next week. But that was badass. I've been saying that I want Mia Yim, because I'm new to this. I want something to really sell me on this woman's character, and that was it, man. That segment right there, like ruthless, premeditated, just badass, dude.
I'm with you. I'm in the same boat. I've been waiting for something. I mean, I've always liked her, but there's not really been that moment where I'm like, damn, that was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was it.
No, that was absolutely it. Yeah, dude. She's taking care of business, man. She's coming for that belt.
And that's not the other reason. I have another reason I like it too, but I'm gonna wait till a little after to bring that up because it kind of falls in with something else I want to.
Okay. So. Next up was the Velveteen Dream moment, and this is what you're seeing if you're watching YouTube. This is what you're seeing here on screen. Velveteen Dream comes out, drops a promo. I like that he is so narcissistic and into himself, he can't even say out loud that he lost to Roderick Strong. I love that. Like he can't vocalize that he's had a loss. But he comes out and he says, only way I'm losing this belt is if I die, and if I die, I want to go to hell because it'll be hell without this belt. And I was like, oh yeah, dude, way to show that belt's important, man. Like way to show that belt is fucking important. You want to die and go to hell.
I mean,
yeah, man.
I mean, that's like Triple H in 03.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's like, but it adds to it because, like, arguably, that belt means more to Velveteen Dream than Adam Cole, like the NXT title to Adam Cole. And I'm not saying Adam Cole doesn't value being a champion, but Velveteen Dream, it's like an obsession to him. Like that is just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, and it's cool because Velveteen Dream has always had a spotlight, and it seems like it's only getting brighter for this guy. Like, he is like already set for main roster, and I believe, I hope when this dude does eventually come up, that he is an instant star and success and big deal, because there's no one like him.
I want Vince out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Vince will probably like over sexualize him. Make him like Goldust 2.0, back when Goldust was.
And the thing is, Dream's so young that you can do that too. I mean, Triple H can keep him down there for years.
Yeah.
And I mean, what is it? 23, 24?
Yeah, no, he's super young, man.
So he can keep him down there for that long and not really hurt him in any way. Like I said, I just don't trust Vince.
No.
With his character.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Drew being part of the future last night. I think Velveteen's.
Yeah, man. Well, Velveteen he's a character, and that's one thing that WWE is lacking right now is strong characters. Everybody just I'm really good at wrestling. That's their character. I'm a really good wrestler, which is cool until that's 60% of your roster. You know what I mean?
I see a lot of the rocking, especially on a mic. For sure.
I'm wondering if he could ever go heel with this character. It'd be tough. It'd be tough to because I think he's supposed to. Like, I don't think he's supposed to be heel, but it's like he's definitely a tweener. You know what I mean? He's not rocking like. He's into himself, and the people are there. It's weird. His character's weird because it's hard to call him either a face or a heel. Like he is.
I think he's more face-like now than he was in the past. Because.
But he does heel shit.
But if I had to pick, yeah.
But he does heel shit, man. You know, it's so awkward.
But in the past, like, it just seemed that it was more obvious as a heel than he is now. I don't know how to explain. Like you say, he's a tweener, But if I had to pick one right now, I'd say face. But back, I don't know, a year ago, I'd probably say heel for sure.
Hell yeah. But yeah, it's weird. I love that he has stolen some of the gusto from Hulk Hogan. That not enough to where he feels like he's mimicking him, but there are such element Hollywood Hogan's like I said, going by the image here. You see on the back of his jacket, he's got his own face on his leather jacket, and he's got Hollywood, like a Hollywood bandana on in the image. I love it's just so subtle, but that's arguably the best part of Hogan's character was just his Hollywood Hogan, you know, and there's like a subtle homage to it, which is awesome, dude. I think so, because I'm not even a Hogan fan. I'm not, but I feel like you have guys like Damian Sandow who just blatantly were parody wrestlers and just mimicked other wrestlers, you know, for a kick. But then you got like Velveteen Dream that can like take very little brief parts of people here and there and has created something out of it, and that's dope. That's really dope, man.
And even in his matches, he does a lot of callbacks to legends.
Yeah, you got the elbow drop.
Hogan, Rock.
Yeah, man. No, he's awesome. Like the more I think about it, the more I think like Dream is definitely a big deal. But it's not. He doesn't overshadow his opponents. Like everyone looks good when they're involved with the Dream. Like everybody looks good, and that's cool, man.
Yeah, and the only match I remember Dream having that didn't really, live up to the hype was probably EC3 at Takeover.
Was it against who?
EC3.
Yeah, that really was just kind of like a filler match, wasn't it? Well, nothing really happened.
But one match out of however many he's had now, you expect a good match. That's
every great's gonna have a stinker here and there, and I wouldn't even call that a stinker. It just wasn't a big deal.
No, it wasn't. And the finish was good. The finish was good too. The finish helped it a lot.
But the whole reason Dream's in the ring is to address the loss to Roderick Strong, and then he kind of laid out a semi-open challenge. He said that Roderick Strong is not big enough for this ride, meaning he's not worthy enough for the match, but he's interested to see if anybody else thinks they are. But it was so subtle, I was like, was that an open challenge, or am I mishearing it? Well, Roderick Strong came out, and I was like, okay, I must have misheard it. Strong comes out, lays out the challenge, rightfully so. He's got rights to that challenge. He has that victory. And then Pete Dunne's music hit, and everybody came unglued. Myself too, man. I'm a huge Pete Dunne mark. I'm not gonna lie, man. That dude, something about him just screams badass. Like, I swear to God, dude. Oh, I love Pete Dunne, and he came out, got in the ring. Strong put his finger in his face, so Pete Dunne breaks his finger essentially, and Strong's out the picture. I love that Pete Dunne too doesn't rely on his mic skills. I love he's a strong, silent type. He just eyes Velveteen up and down, eyes that gold, and that's it. That's all Velveteen needed to know to get out of the ring and back off, man. And I was sold. I was like, yeah, dude. I can't wait to see the combination of these guys, because it was right after the segment. Strong was backstage, approached William Regal about getting his title match. He kind of wanted to secure the match before anything happened, and Regal did confirm that he deserved a title match. But he also confirmed that he cut a deal with NXT UK and that Dunne will be around for a minute. He's going to spend some time in NXT. So he said that it's going to be a triple threat match. And so far for the Toronto show, TakeOver, this is the match for me. This is the one I'm most hype about by a landslide. Oh, my God.
It's gonna be a heck of a match, man.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm more excited for that or Gargano Cole because it's been so long since we two out or 3 stages of hell. I'm so used to saying 2 out of 3 falls and
Yeah, yeah, right.
it's been so long since we've seen that. I think I'm really excited. I thought we should have saw that with Trump personally.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
that totally makes sense. Um,
Back to Dream though. In my head, I kind of explained that kind of battle. I think why I would classify him as a face more now is just because like he's feuding with the Undisputed Era of all heels. I mean, yeah, Pete Dunne ain't a heel, but you know what I mean. Most of his feuds now are against heels, and when he's teamed up, he's with a face. As back in the day, he was feuding with Ricochet and the Aleister Blacks. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like just by association, I would say he's more of a face now than he was before.
no, I totally agree with you. That and especially because the crowd reacts to him like a face as well. You know,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
cheer, like the crowd loves Dream, and I mean, how can you not? Honestly, the kid is just
he's so
overflowing with talent, man.
charismatic, dude. Charismatic. Like he has so much charisma,
Yeah,
and it shows.
and
Earlier, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, and he's got a connection with Full Sail, because it's not like he came into WWE with all this talent developed on the indies. Like he is a homegrown talent. Because he was originally on, I believe, Tough Enough, and
Yeah,
him in Full Sail, because he wasn't always this great. You know, he showed signs early on, but he was rough around the edges. But he has grown in Full Sail, and now he's swelled up to this beast of talent. You know, and so you got to think Full Sail. It's like watching your baby grow. You know what I mean? He's got to have a
yeah.
special connection to that place, just because his whole career has developed in that damn ring. You know, right there, and
And
everybody's watched it happen. So that's cool to me. Like to think about that. Like I bet
and that's
you
one
it'll be
that
sad.
gives.
They'll give him a fair. I bet they'll give him a farewell speech when he gets called up.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, there's been people associated with NXT. Like when you think of NXT, you think of that guy. But Velveteen is probably on the top of the list as
yeah,
far as that goes.
I can't think of any.
Gargano, you could argue Gargano. You could
No,
make
that's
that
true.
argument.
Yeah, true. But like I said, I can't really think of anybody that's homegrown NXT. And I'm sure there's got to
No,
be, but off the top of my head, everybody else that's huge, Gargano. But even Gargano wasn't Evolve. He was in other promotions, but maybe Velveteen was. Like, hold on, before I say that, I don't know if Velveteen was wrestling before uh, NXT.
I don't think.
I
I don't.
assumed that he tried out for the reality show Tough Enough, and then got his wrestling career started in NXT. But I imagine he's probably wrestled elsewhere. I just don't recall him being big anywhere else.
I don't either, and he's so young that he may not have.
That's why I'm saying, like, because Gargano, he was like in Evolve, and I want to say Dragon Gate. You know, he
Yeah,
was
he was.
in the Indies. You know, but he's obviously a
Yeah,
very big NXT star. You know,
yeah.
but yeah, no, yeah, it's
And
just
that's one thing is my hope that if he does get caught up while Vince is there, that he is homegrown. If you look at the Braun Strowmans of the world, the Alexa Blisses,
mm-hmm.
Sonya Deville was also on that Tough Enough. Uh, he he does favor the guys that's homegrown. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
absolutely.
hopefully, uh, but that thing I wanted to say earlier, I'm a big Logic guy.
Yeah.
There was 2 backstage segments today. Okay, one was captured by security cam footage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm beating the hell out of dude.
Oh my.
Second was Roderick Strong dragged the cameraman. Now, how
Yeah.
much more logical is that than a camera randomly walking up on a janitor when Shane McMahon happens to walk up?
Yeah, that's true. No, 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 no. I was going over this with Benji last week too. even their production and backstage segments are more logical. I
Like,
was
it's the
I'm right
little
there
thing.
with you. Everything makes sense. Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. It's and I want to say Benji chalked it up to that they're just given more freedom to try things out, whereas WWE is very cookie cutter. They have their system and they don't shy away from it. Um, but yeah, it's you're right. Like you can tell those guys they probably flesh out their stuff, and then not to mention they do their all their stuff is pre-taped. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
and that's the thing too. If they go live against AEW, they can't. I think pre-tape is also kind of what makes it so special. If they can go back.
yeah, I like the pre-tape stuff because it gives these guys plenty of time to think about what they're going to do, how the stories are going to develop, the matches they're going to have, where when they if they go live, they're just never getting a second to breathe. You know, they're just on the road 24/7 just like everybody else. Um yeah, so but I don't have enough experience in production and how all that stuff works, so I really don't know how much it would hinder them or what major changes that would come due to it. But you look at NXT as it is, you know, like you're terrified to change anything because NXT is
You are.
easily the best wrestling in WWE right now, consistently. You know,
It's not perfect. You can find stuff wrong with it, but yeah, as far as top to bottom, and it's so. And like we were talking about earlier, if is it a good move to go to 2 hours? I don't even know if it is.
I was always saying that you should go to. Uh, if I was given the reins to make a change, I would say 90 minutes. I
That would
would
be a good.
I would say
Yeah.
just an hour and a half, you know. And all I would do is I wouldn't add really many more segments. I would just add some time to some of the matches. Um,
And two, if they're live on television, you got commercials on the network. That's not a thing.
true,
Really.
yeah, true that. Well, anyways, show's almost done. We'll get back to it. It's Casey Catanzaro versus Io Shirai. Io Shirai got the best entrance in the game, uh, hands down. That entrance music combined with the strobe lights, the simple, like the simpleness of her entrance, but it's so badass, dude. Like I love her new heel entrance, man. I think it's one of the coolest damn things ever, man. And Io looks way cooler to me as a heel than she ever did as a face. I don't know much outside of it, but apparently Io had some big matches in Lucha Underground. That's what Benji always tells me. And he even sent me a match to watch where Io and I think like the Black Lotus Society took on Pentagon
Pentagon Junior.
yeah, Pentagon Jr. in like a gauntlet match, and it was badass because Pentagon just was like breaking all their arms, like one after another, every match up until the end. They finally the numbers added up, but until like the first like two or three of the women that he faced off in the gauntlet match, he like broke their arms. It was disgusting, dude. But eventually they got the upper hand on him. And they broke his arm. It was nasty, dude. But Io's cool as hell. She faced off, like I said, against Casey Catanzaro, I believe it is. Io didn't come to play, man. The bell rang. She exploded with a drop kick, hit the double knees in the corner, and then hit. Do you recall the name of this move? It's a common move that it's like that double underhook like driver. I can never remember the name of it. But
I can't think of the name.
yeah, it's such a common move. I mean, it's essentially if Triple H was to do a
Which two?
pedigree and combine it into a pile driver. It's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
But right after those three moves though, she's jumped by Candice LeRae. She ain't laying down, man. She's here to get revenge. and the match is tossed out afterwards, just because this was just to help further the feud with Shirai. And then luckily too, because I didn't want to see Casey get destroyed either. Even though she literally got beat down, it was only 3 moves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I'm a big fan of Casey, so I was pretty.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I like Casey.
Oh, you like Casey? I thought you said you're not a big fan of her.
No, I do. I think she has a lot of potential. I love watching her in the Mae Young and those. She lost in the second round, but
she's really cute and she's like super athletic, and she was on Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, she has a great look. She's athletic.
Ain't she dating someone?
Yeah.
Like, isn't she dating a wrestler? It is Ricochet.
Ricochet.
Okay, that's what I thought. But yeah,
we haven't seen much of her on the mic, but as far as just the athleticness and having the look, she has it.
Yeah, I mean, from what I gather, she's still very green and developing, because she hasn't been a wrestler. She's transitioning from what I've heard, she's transitioning from like the Ninja Warrior obstacle courses to wrestling, and she's very early in her career. But something about her stands out, man. Something about her stands out.
Nothing's wrong with being green either. I mean, all NXT is the top thing right now, but it is still development for some. I mean,
it's in this
Adam
weird.
Cole,
it's a weird
Adam
spot.
Cole don't need that, but there's nothing wrong with people.
NXT really is this weird spot where it's developmental, but also it's its own brand. It's kind of like 2 different things rolled into one, which is nice, man. It helps give it its own identity. I wouldn't change it, man. I would not change it. But after that, speaking of Adam Cole, we get his backstage pre-tape segment, where he confirms that at Takeover in Toronto, Undisputed Era will be draped in gold. And dude, I'm telling you, I believe him. I absolutely believe that they're gonna do that, where every member of Undisputed Era has gold. So he's talking about himself obviously retaining his championship, Roderick Strong winning the North American Championship, and then Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish getting the tag straps off of Street Profits. And we get that closing shot of them all holding up that gold, which just, how good would that be, man? Like, for real. Like, if there's any faction that could be all champs, man, at least for like a week or 2.
It's a flashback, man, of Evolution and No Fury.
Evolution, that's right. Evolution was draped in gold at one point.
Yes, and I'll never forget the image to close that paper, the Armageddon paper, when they all had to go.
Yeah,
so
man.
I understand what you're saying completely.
Yeah, it always looks cool to see a faction. It really, and it solidifies a future for everybody in there. Yeah. Look at Evolution. I mean, granted, Evolution was top developed stars, current stars, and then up and coming guy being Randy Orton. But then look at the Shield. The Shield was draped in gold, and all 3 members of them, they all went on to be world champions and are arguably the biggest stars of the current scene of wrestling, And so to see Undisputed Era, if they do have all 4 of them draped in gold, it's probably a good prediction that all 4 of these guys will be a big deal, later on. It's what I would think.
Well, I definitely think tag title will swing. Definitely think that.
You think it's a lock that Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly?
I do, just because I think it will, and then the Street Profits will start actually wrestling on Raw.
On Raw.
Backstage narrate.
Yeah, you can't really mix it. Kevin Owens was the only exception where he could be wrestling on the main card while holding NXT gold. But that's just because they're
not even right.
Yeah.
They're like narrators.
Yeah, right now, yeah, that's all they are. just they're just like a commercial for whatever's coming up, man. But they're the best though.
It's
They're
not
so
storytelling, dude.
good.
Storytelling.
They're so good.
Oh, it's very entertaining the way they do it.
Yeah, man. Um, yeah, no, I love it, man. I love that
But do you
idea.
think Dream loses? Do you think Dream loses at Takeover? That's the one I'd
For
be feeling
the
about.
sake of giving them gold, I do. I just now granted on the flip side, it could be so predictable or it could be so I don't know, like lopsided that they're not going to do it and that's the obvious thing. But for me, I think I'm just going with my heart that I want all four of them draped in gold for at least a night.
Which that could be, like I got attitude. And I'm not saying Dunn's that guy to take a fall, but on the NXT brand where, he's not there as much as like NXT UK, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they could still protect the other team, do it that way.
Yeah. Yes.
But I don't want to make it sound like Pete's one of those guys that take the fall. He's not. I'm just saying, you know,
Yeah, no,
he's
I
not
mean
on that brand as much.
exactly. No, 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 exactly. And yeah, you're right. He is former NXT UK champion and he held on to that that title longest reigning champion in NXT history. Um
Yeah, when he goes back to NXT UK, nobody's gonna really, I got Pete to
no.
take over.
No. So yeah, you're right. That would make sense, right? Pete Dunne's the fall guy. It makes Dream not have to eat the pin, and then Dream can come out, get his belt back, probably in one of the pre-taped episodes, um, before the next takeover. So yeah, like I said, I could see it, man. I really can see them doing it because it's kind of like what people thought was going to happen when Undisputed Era was first created. Anyways, they were expecting these guys to
Yeah.
be draped in gold at some point, just all of them, you know. Um, yeah, no, I think it'll happen, and yeah, I didn't think about Pete Dunne being the fall guy because he never strikes me as one, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't really think of it that way until you think about how he's 90% NXT UK. And
it's true. No, very, very true. Yeah, because Regal made it a point to say that he's not permanent, but he'll be here for a minute. You know,
yeah. So,
which is probably just like a
what do
round
you
of
think about
tapings.
Adam Cole? What do you think about Adam Cole choosing a straight up match?
Yeah, so we didn't mention it, but yeah, Adam Cole's pre-take segment, he claimed that his match is a straight up match. Totally makes sense. That's what he beat Johnny
I don't
Gargano in. You know what I mean? Like, why change a formula? You already have a victory this way. And I loved how he said, "You're gonna have to change your nickname because you're Mr. Johnny Wrestling, and I beat you in a wrestling match." You know what I mean?
And if you go back 2 or 2 after he falls after that loss, he came out and said, if it was a one fall regular wrestling match, I would have beat.
Exactly.
So
No, yeah, he's beaten him straight up twice now. Just the first time didn't net him the gold. No, it totally made sense. But we'll go ahead. We're gonna have to wrap it up here in a bit. We're running a little long, but not too long here, folks. And I definitely don't want to skim over Keith Lee here because if you've heard my take on Keith Lee, who he was in the main event against Damian Priest this week, Keith Lee is amazing. So Keith Lee to me, I haven't told you this, but Keith Lee to me is like, I feel like, dude, this dude could be the WWE Universal Champion or the World Heavyweight Champion right now. Like, send him to Maine and put him in a feud, give him a couple weeks to get his character over, and then bam, he's champ. Like, that is Keith Lee currently with me, man. After this match, though, what are they doing, bro? Like, what are they doing here? Like, you got Punishment Martinez coming in as Damian Priest, and he just goes over Keith Lee like it ain't a big deal. Like, what the hell happened here, man?
I like Keith Lee. I'm not as high on him as you are, but I like him.
Yeah.
I'm actually probably. I mean, I'm high on Keith Lee, but I really like Damian Priest too.
For
I didn't have
real?
a problem. Yeah, I didn't have a problem with him going over. I just didn't like the finish. Bringing the ref out in front of him and all that.
Yeah, so he did use the ref, right? He did use some underhanded tactics.
Yeah, whoever won that match, I wish it was a little more definitive instead.
Yeah. Well, I think they want to protect Keith Lee because
Yeah,
they probably have very big plans for him, but they can't execute them at the moment. They need
yeah,
Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era to have their stuff, before, because that dude is champion. Like that dude is
yeah.
world champion at some point. So yeah, you probably got to protect him, and you also can't let him like just surge through the competition. He's gonna have to eat losses here and there to so you have a valid argument for why he's not already going for the NXT belt. So I could see that now that I'm talking my way through it. Um,
And it was a solid match too. I mean, it was a good hoss fight between
yeah,
two big guys.
it's always one of those surprising Haas matches when you have Keith Lee in there because he can move so fast. I like that segment where they do um, like the pretty much like the kung fu choreography. Man, you got Keith Lee throwing like punches and kicks. They're dodging like these crazy strikes at a fast pace, and it finishes with Keith Lee throwing like a jumping, spinning back kick over Damian Priest. Like that blows my mind, and I've seen him do it now like 4 or 5 times, and it still blows my mind every time, dude. Like every time. Uh, but yeah, no, you're right. The match did culminate. The cool part though, one of the big moments was Damian Priest hitting that Falcon Arrow on
Yeah,
Keith
that's
Lee.
impressive.
That
That's
was
impressive.
yeah. Keith Lee's a big boy now. Hoist him up like that, Ben, and do that,
Keith
man.
Lee and Lee catching Priest on that dive too. That was
Yeah, man. No, like
they had some good spots in that.
so I guess coming out of this, Damian Priest is a bigger deal than I originally took him for. Um, and then Keith Lee is they're just probably just taking their time with, let other guys
Yeah,
get their stories done before they throw him in there. Because like I said, like Keith Lee, I feel like you could buzzsaw him to the main event of the main card. Like it's his charisma is up there. I mean, obviously very different from Velveteen Dream, but he's just like one of those guys that like if he's in a crowded room, he's gonna grab the spotlight in any room he's in. Man, he's captivating. He's
yeah,
super captivating.
yeah. I mean, he has charisma. He has a great look. He's a big guy that can move.
Yeah. No, it's awesome, dude. And I love the guy, man. I can't wait, man. I hope they pulled the trigger with him, and I hope it's kind of like what you said earlier with with Dream, like coming up the main card. You just hope that Vince is out of the picture by then, because like with Vince, I'm
Yeah,
scared that Vince will be like, "Oh, you're another strong, silent monster type," and then that's
yeah,
it. He's like Braun Strowman 2.0. Like, oh god.
yeah. Unfortunately, Vince has a. I mean, if you look a certain way, you're gonna get looked a certain way.
Exactly. No, I know. But let's not end on a downer, man. The match was awesome. The match was awesome. Two
Oh,
big
it was.
hosses showing athleticism. You know, I was just bummed because my boy Keith Lee got pinned, and I was for sure he was winning this match. And it looks like Damian Priest is just a guy that's got to be on our radar now at this point, man. By the way,
I love him.
yeah, no, I don't hate him by no means. It's just when you put him and Keith Lee, I want Keith Lee to win. Anybody else, man, I'm for it. Anyways, so I said this to Benji, and he was off put by it. But I always said that Damian Priest, his character strikes me as like Mortal Kombat's Nightwolf.
Yeah, that's it.
No, it's the bow and arrow thing, man, that he does. Like I don't know, strikes me as Nightwolf, man. It falls flat. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the asshole. I don't know. But dang, man,
One
that's
question though.
yeah.
We're talking about NXT just changing things. Is this the takeover? Where we get more than 5 matches?
I don't think so, man. I don't
Well,
think
here's
so.
the thing. You got the 4 title matches.
You do.
The
So wait.
tournament.
So what do we got? We got to say we got the main event. You got
The
the
4 title matches.
yeah,
The tourney final.
the tourney final. Yeah, that's
They're
5.
teasing Riddle and Million Day. And after
Yeah.
this big heel turn, would Shirai not be on the card?
That's true. So yeah, you're right.
That's
Five.
7 matches. They're kind of
That's 5 titles.
well,
Yeah.
4 titles.
4 titles.
The
Yeah,
tourney
no,
final.
you're right. You're right. Right. The tourney is the 5th match. Excuse me. Um,
So Riddle, Dane, and Shirai can.
man, I'm gonna go out right now and say that we'll get 6 matches.
And that could be a indicator if they're willing to add more time or go live or whatever. If they try
Yeah.
to mess with the formula. So
I mean, if there's ever
we
a
might find
time
out
we're gonna
this
see
week.
change take place in the WWE, it's now. You know what I mean?
So if they get more than 5 matches, I'll look for more
Hell yeah.
messing with this.
No, that's true. Hey, you guys, if you're listening, man, hit us up what you think in the comments section. How many matches will we have in NXT Takeover Toronto? Because as you heard it here, Sebastian makes a very good argument, man. We very well could have upwards of 7 matches. I don't think 7, maybe 6. But
And if it wasn't for Dane putting Riddle for the stage,
yeah,
I would. I mean, that's a big moment.
that's a
right?
big moment, man. I mean,
That's
what are
like
you
a
gonna do? You're gonna
takeover
put it on
winner
the back
moment.
burner
Like,
until the next set of tapings? Like I don't know. I know that they do big matches on their weekly television. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
And
that
after that spot, you could have Riddle sit out a little bit, but I mean, he's on
true.
the night, so
Yeah, like what do you have? Like
They're gonna
Riddle sit out and Killian Dane? No, because Killian Dane's promo talks about how he had to attack Riddle. That Riddle is, you know what I mean? It wasn't that I took him out. It's like, no, man, he's the king of MMA, but in my world, we're even. I wouldn't hit someone from behind, but with Riddle, he's no joke. So obviously, this is a feud, not I took him out. Now I'm gonna go beat up a couple people. Yeah,
no, I get that. I just meant like if it wasn't for takeover purposes, then you could have Riddle sit out a couple weeks from it
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
and come back right after or something. But he wrestled tonight, so that went out the window. So you got to think it's possible for takeover.
It is, man, very possible. But that's our show, folks. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to catch us Monday. I'm fairly certain the episode will go up Monday when Sebastian, you and I will 3 episodes in a row. Crazy, man. On a whim, we put out their little tweet. Hey, somebody want to help host a show? And bam, here you are, hosting a week's worth of episodes, man.
Went and bought a headset and everything.
Look at that, man. Look at that. Crazy how life turns out, bro. Yeah, make sure to join us Monday when we recover the classic pay-per-view WWF's Armageddon 2000. And then, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much where you can find us next. Otherwise, of course, we are live, or we have our episodes posted up every Wednesday and Thursday when we cover Raw, SmackDown, NXT, 205 Live. Go ahead and let them know where they can find you one more time. One more time, Sebastian.
At WrestlingFan_32.
Man, one of the best wrestling tags I've ever heard. Y'all have a good one.